104.1 KRBE.
Let's go.
Good morning.
The Roula and Ryan Show.
With Eric. It's about to get all stupid up in here.
Hey, sleepyhead.
Featuring Special K.
Nobody asked you, Kevin.
And Sam.
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula.
Macaroni and cheese hot dog.
Ryan.
I am the worst DJ ever.
With Eric.
We're the champions of the world.
104.1 KRBE.
Good morning.
Houston,
Wants
Texas.
to party?
We are here on a Friday,
Finally.
finally. Yay, yay, yay. We've made it to the end of the week. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy.
What was that from? Happy Joy.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
Happy,
Yes,
happy,
right.
joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy,
Remember
joy.
Powdered Toast Man?
I didn't watch that cartoon because I wanted to, but it was on cable, right? Was it Nickelodeon or something?
Yeah, I think it was.
I didn't get it
it
until I was 18
Adult
in my
Swim?
house. So I
Kev,
just knew
the
bits of
log
it that I
song.
wanted it, but I couldn't see it all. The what
Everyone
now?
loves a log. You're gonna love a log.
That's from Ren and Stimpy?
Did they bring
Yes.
that back? They should bring that back. If
They
they
really
go.
should.
What a weird cartoon.
It
though.
was.
I know,
I
but
think that's
it
why
was
as
funny.
kids in high school, college, you'd watch it
stuck.
high or drunk or something.
But it launched the career of Billy West, the voiceover guy. I mean, he really became super uber rich.
Wasn't it
from doing
used in
that.
a commercial too? I feel like I know it from a commercial.
I wouldn't doubt it because it was huge in the. Well, what
Happy
year was
I'd
that?
I'd say like the mid to late 90s.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like 98.
Idiot.
The first episode was dated 1991. The final was
wow.
96
What?
Wow.
on
We're all wrong.
Nickelodeon.
Wow.
91 to 96. I don't know
I
how
think
I
I saw
saw
all
it.
of
Where
that. I remember
can't
being,
tell you about
like,
a whole
wasted
episode,
watching it.
but it was always like the way they talked. He's a Chihuahua, and the other one was what? He kind of looks like the
little doggy.
the
Some kind of
warthog
doggy.
from Lion King, but it's not him. What is he?
I don't know. I thought he was a little doggy.
Well, I know, but one's a Chihuahua clearly. But what's the other dog?
Oh,
I can't even tell.
He was the big dumb guy.
He's like the dumb cousin of the warthog in Lion King.
Yeah, but
He's
That's
kind of
really
like,
what it
I
looks
mean,
like.
if you look at SpongeBob SquarePants, he's kind of like Patrick. Yeah.
they copied.
Yeah,
them.
I don't know what kind of animal that is.
Yeah.
The other.
I have no idea. I can't.
The first question on Google is Ren and Stimpy for adults or kids? That's the first question. For
say
kids or
adults.
adults? It is a kid's show, just like
mean,
the
I
other
watched it as a
Nickelodeon
kid.
originals, because it's a Nickelodeon show. It just happens to be one that teenagers and adults enjoyed also, not unlike Looney Tunes, Batman the Animated Series, or SpongeBob SquarePants. Anyway, just random. Happy, happy, joy, joy. It's Friday. All right, another chance for you to become a finalist for a trip to Puerto Rico today to see Bad Bunny, you and a guest. We'll tell you all about what we have coming up for you, but first let's just get into what happened on Roses yesterday.
Not fun going into a weekend with that hanging over your head.
I'm just counting down the time. 6:10 to 10.
What are you looking at? Will is like really giggling about something. I don't know what it is.
Here for the listen.
I was talking about
Friday.
something during that. I'm like, oh,
Oh, come on, share.
I just think it's funny because Ahmad is like, "You guys are so crazy. The
I know.
mics are on."
I'm like, come on, the mics
it's
are up.
Fine. It's everyone knows what happened yesterday, and then we did it. At
Well, not
9.
everybody. They
we
just
do it
tuned in
again at
for the first
5.
time.
They heard it all day yesterday on podcast. It's fine. This guy makes me mad. Just want to tune him out.
I'll tell people right now. I was like, where were
Mad
you?
guys.
Where were you yesterday? You could listen at 7.
It's
Here,
fine. There was a study about the best smells you could have. And what's number one, Eric? Eric, what's number one? The best smells of all the smells there are, like vanilla or fresh clothes from the dryer or lavender, citrus, or
For me, I love bakeries.
the moment before it rains.
Like a French bakery and stuff. Or I love bread, the smell.
Oh, that does smell
like
good.
donuts and
My Grammy and Granddad, there was a big bread factory like 2 blocks down from their house growing up, and it just like that smell would be in the air.
The smell of the bread factory is my home.
Right.
It was for many years. For those that don't know, 6 o'clockers, we started a bread company right out of our kitchen. And now Bread Man Baking Company doesn't bake in the house
Before
anymore.
you do the list, does he have like a no cologne policy? Like when you work in food stuff,
Oh, yeah.
when you
Never thought
I
of
don't
that.
want people wearing like colognes.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't
Ooh,
know.
this bread tastes like
That
Axe.
makes sense. I don't.
I know they're not rubbing it,
know
but
the rules there,
I
but
didn't
I
know,
definitely
like-
remember from my waiting table days because you're more person to person contact.
Yeah, if I had waiters.
My dad would tell like a guy like, "You have too much perfume on. You have too much perfume." My dad would call it perfume.
Like I would
no
call
matter
everyone
what.
in line, everyone up, and be like, walk by him.
Sniff
Nope,
test.
you deodorant, you less deodorant.
Don't you think the general rule of thumb is
Because you're right.
Apparently, you're not supposed
If you
to do
have-
that, but you are supposed
How
to do
about how's that wrong? That's
I
part of your
know.
job. If
I know.
you're gonna make my customers,
I don't think
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
that's out of the question.
you just don't do it one on one. I guess you can't do a line.
But if
Not like
you
we didn't here.
if you have left the room and people can still smell your cologne, you're wearing too much.
Especially for food, like you're right. If you're a waiter
Yeah,
or
if you-
waitress,
or think about this: if you work in a hair salon and your sole job is to wash people's hair, and you can't stand behind the bowl, the way this salon is set up is it's next to you and they're leaning over you. You have got to smell good. Because can you imagine that
Oh,
steak stank?
yeah,
The
yeah.
person has pit smells.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be horrible because you're trapped there
Oh,
as
yeah.
they're washing your hair and their pit is like right over your face.
Ooh.
That's terrible.
I had that yesterday. I had to get my thyroid checked.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
A little lumpy.
Yeah.
That right at the base of your neck?
I think the lady's
Yeah.
breath was kicking a little bit. I'm like,
Uh-oh.
No.
And what'd
oh
you
man,
do?
I'm doing it early. Just to
Did you
get-
hand her
I
a
hope
piece
she
of gum?
doesn't listen. I hope she doesn't
Eric
listen.
thinks
Because
he's got
everyone
death
notices
breath.
you getting your big old lump checked. Eric has
How
a
is
lump on
lumpy?
his neck.
I don't know. They
During a
showed me the
podcast, Sam
screen.
figured out he has a lump in his neck. He went
Have
to
you
go
ever
check it
gotten
out.
an MRI or anything
Well,
on
maybe
that?
your idea that way they can measure, make sure it's not
No growth.
What'd you see on the
bigger.
screen?
A big blob. I'm like, what the hell? That's it.
Like a mass?
I guess. Well, it's like full of fluid. I guess. Because remember, like,
Can you drain it?
when Sam saw it on my neck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She drained it, or not? She didn't, but I went and they drained it.
Oh, I was going
That
to
was like
sounds
3 years ago.
disgusting.
There's Sam in the
That does
studio
not
with a
sound
syringe.
breakfast pleasing. They took care of it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but
And
now,
every
now
year
they
you
just
gotta take
keep
care of it.
They just keep track of it to make sure it's not.
That's good.
cancerous
You
and
have to
stuff.
do that.
Well, back to the good things. The number one smell is bread.
It was
Freshly
bread?
baked
Oh,
bread
wow.
Yeah.
is the number one smell. But it does not translate to candles. There have been many candle companies that have tried to say like French baguette
Wouldn't it smell
or
burnt?
French bakery.
It'd be burnt smell.
It does not smell right.
HEB has tortilla candles.
Now, butter tortilla, I've heard people like to buy that.
Does
especially
it
one-
smell good?
I've only opened it in the aisle to smell the top.
gonna
It
make
just
me
smells like
hungry.
the butter tortillas, but it doesn't. Like that one actually, Ahmad was not offensive. I've been in like a candle store before where it says, "Oh, French baguette." I go, "Let me smell that." I go, "Blah, blah, blah, blah." I gotta smell something else to cleanse the palate.
They should make revenge ones and like burnt popcorn.
Oh, where maybe it starts off sweet
Old
and they've got
shrimp
it
tuna,
layered.
yeah, old shrimp, like stuff that you could, like you open it,
Microwave fish.
like small, you open it, and you could farts. You could just open it and you could just put it in their house.
The key is though,
Stick it somewhere.
you know how candles maybe they just have different layers of wax. So you think it starts off the first like hour, like, oh, this is a delightful
Then it
smell,
hits you.
and then all of a sudden they've got the onions and farts and all those kind of nasty things. It burns down, and you're wondering what in God's name is
I think
that?
we got $1 million idea, guys.
Yeah, go on Shark Tank.
yeah,
That one sounds like something you'd find at Spencer's.
yeah, but
It already
but you can do that
exists.
at Amazon and stuff.
I'm
Yeah,
sure you
if we can think it,
We're
somebody's
looking
done it.
All right, coming up next, we'll give you all the details of how you're going to get to Puerto Rico to see Bad Bunny. We're already running late, so it's fine. What's up
you'll
weather
hear
today?
next. It's going to be hot again. Lots of sunshine. It'll be in the mid 90s right now. 78 degrees, 614 on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
This is Celebrity Scoop.
On the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
All right, it is brought to you by Taqueria Arandas. And don't forget, today is another day you could become a finalist to go see Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico. So here's what we're doing. We are going to reveal a sounder at 7 a.m. When you hear that same sounder throughout the day between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., furiously call us on your phone.
Furious.
Furiously.
Can't
get to your
calmly.
phone
You've got to do it with like
furiously
rage.
call us.
Fast and Furious.
And if you're caller 104, you automatically win $104. That's a win. And then you're a finalist for a trip for two to Puerto Rico. It is airfare for two, hotel nights for 2 hotel nights for you and a guest, and then 2 VIP tickets to see Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico in August.
That's beautiful.
If your calendar is not clear in August and you can't clear it, don't waste your time.
Not at this point.
Wouldn't it be the worst if you became a finalist and you're like, well, I hope it's not these dates. And then you're the grand prize winner, like, yay.
You could cancel
And
anything
then you
except
get the
wedding.
dates and you're like, oh, I can't.
And maybe
I have
you're like
conflicts
a,
about
you know,
TPS reports.
Maybe you're like 21, you don't give a crap about your job, and you're like, you know what, I'd rather do this, have the memory.
Hell
Screw this
yeah.
job.
Well, you're 41. Don't give a crap. Doesn't matter about
41, you
age.
got more responsibilities, and can't just walk away.
Vacation time. All right, so that's what we're going to do between 8 and 6. Y'all be listening for the Bad Bunny sounder, but you don't know what it sounds like until 7. So 7 o'clock, then 8 to 6, then caller 104, then $104, then 2 tickets to Puerto Rico. A lot of numbers in there. Keep track of it. I know it's Friday. Your sponge is full. The brain can't take anymore today.
It's kind of fun. I look forward to 7 o'clock every morning because Special K always comes up with a really fun, creative new sounder every day.
This is my longest one.
Oh, is it?
It's 11 seconds. I was just looking at
Oh,
it.
Lord. All right. Well, Lord,
Oh, dang.
wait till
Which
7
doesn't sound
o'clock.
like a lot, but in radio world, that sounds
I know.
It
It's
ended
Friday.
well.
We
That's a long
want to
time.
have a
That'd be
lot
fun.
of fun
It's the
with
last day.
I know,
Yeah.
that's right. It's the last day to become the finalist because Monday morning we're pulling the grand prize winner. All right, Tom Cruise has set a Guinness World Record while filming Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The record officially is for most burning parachute jumps by an individual.
What do you mean burn?
Not parachute
Like the
jumps.
chute is on fire?
It's on fire.
Yes, that's
He
what I
has
mean.
jumped out of a helicopter 16 times while strapped to a parachute that is pre-soaked in fuel
Oh my God.
and lit on fire.
I don't need to film CGI, baby.
I
Come
never
on.
need to do that.
There really is no
According
need to do
Guinness, no other actor or stuntman has come close to that amount of drops. The Guinness's editor-in-chief said Tom does not just play action heroes, he is an action hero. A large part of his success can be chalked up to his absolute focus on authenticity and pushing the boundaries of what a leading man could do. In the behind-the-scenes footage of this stunt, Tom said, "If this is twisted while it's burning, I'm going to be spinning and burnt. I have to kick out of the twist and then ignite in 10 seconds. We're going to be real smart. I'm not saying be risky. We don't take risks, obviously. Here's
No,
some
that's a
very,
risk.
Here's some very dramatic audio paired with dramatic music of Tom and the stunt coordinator talking about the stunt.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to be deploying, I'm going to be spinning and burn. I have to kick out of the twist and then ignite within 10 seconds.
Start soaking the parachute. We're going to submerge the parachute into the avgas, so when the parachute opens and ignites it and explode.
For this shot, we're going to be real smart. I'm not saying be risky. We don't take risks, obviously.
So what did
Okay, let's go.
And then he jumps and you see the
that
whole
music.
thing.
I
So-
still haven't seen this movie. I guess.
I want to see it. I'm sure it'll be streaming soon,
What
but
is this BS? Tom Cruise. Stunt. There's so many stunt people that do stuff like this every day. We don't even talk about the movie. The whole time I've seen the people promote this movie, it's about his stunts.
His stunts.
Him doing the stunts.
can I tell you
But they
something
say all
about?
press is good press. It's getting you to talk about the
Yeah,
movie.
we're talking about it right
but
now.
if I'm a stunt guy,
You're mad.
I'm mad
he's taking
because
your
Eric's
job,
sticking up
number
for the
one.
stunt people. Can I tell you, like,
no.
having about 75 jumps under my belt.
But you lied about every one of them except for two.
I can tell you
We
how
want to hear your story.
how dangerous what he is doing.
We know
So
it's dangerous.
When
You almost died doing it.
when you get your lines twisted like
yeah,
that,
I know, because that's what happened to you. You almost died.
that's. Can I just 10 seconds and I'll tell you how dangerous it
he
is
wants
when
to
your
get it
line
out
is
there.
twisted. You have an auxiliary, like a backup chute. You only have a certain amount of time. If you have not pulled that backup chute when you're at 700 feet, you're not going to make it. Like, you will hit the ground. That's it. It's lights out. You're done.
My question is, what's the point? Like, really, what's the point? I mean, Tom Cruise, you're a very wealthy, talented actor in Hollywood that has done a lot of movies
It
that
makes
people
him happy.
appreciate. No, my thing is, you don't need to do this anymore. To do it the first Mission
Personal
Impossible or
challenge?
the second one, that's great because it got press for the movie. Like, wow, the actor's actually doing this. This is crazy. I don't think
Basically, you're
it's,
taking away jobs.
if
from
I was
people.
Suri Cruise, I'd be so mad at my dad. Like, why are you doing this?
Well, she doesn't care, but
Aren't they estranged?
yeah, she's like, whatever, do it,
They
dude.
are.
Oh, is Suri
Well,
the
that's
one
true. I
that
guess
he
if
doesn't
they're-
have any contact
That's
with?
probably why you
Well,
got the
none of them
idea. She
really.
probably like, just leave me alone. Just go jump out of a plane and help you parachute
death.
down.
That's terrible.
Just burn to death.
And he's like, ooh, that's a good idea. Stunt number 2. Just,
Yeah, it's true. Okay, here on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric, many times we have told you how suits, the quote, suits of any company, any,
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
any
TV show.
entity. No, not the TV show suits. The
Was a good
suits of any boardroom or company or whatever. They might have ideas that would kibosh the creative ideas, right? In radio, this has happened a million times. God, Eric and I were going over it in the 22 years we've been doing radio together. The stupidest idea some of the suits have given us.
I just got a book, Dumb Ideas by Jan.
Anyway, Dakota Johnson
All those things
is
we-
in Variety magazine talking about how decisions are made in Hollywood by people who don't have a creative bone in their body. And that is 100% true. Every singer you know has had some kind of a battle with a record label suit. Every actor you know or every director you know has had a battle with the producers and the suits. All you got to do to know this pain is watch the show The Movies That Made Us on Netflix.
That's good.
It doesn't matter what movie you're watching, they made. There's one part of that documentary where they're like, oh my God, we had to give them the dailies. And they're like, do you think this is funny? You think this is scary? You think this is good?
They
We're
love
like,
to
"Yeah, I
give
think we do."
notes. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing. When the corporate pinheads, well, we have some notes for you.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson was talking to the LA Times, which then connected to Variety magazine about some of the things that she's been shamed for, some projects that didn't go her way that she's been shamed for, like Madam Web. You know, the whole thing about the movie Madam Web flopping. Critics and audiences hated it. She says it was not her fault. Sony backed this comic book movie, and she said it was a notorious punching bag in the winter of 2024. It only earned $43 million domestically. It got an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. She headlined the film as Cassandra Webb, a paramedic who gains the ability to see the future after a near-death experience. And she just said, there's this thing that happens now where a lot of the creative decisions are made by a whole committee or made by people who, again, like I quoted, don't have a creative bone in
It's
their
always
body.
been that way, though.
It's really hard to make art that way or to make something entertaining that way. And I think, unfortunately, with Madam Web, it started out as something and it turned into something else.
Well, think about this. You have no idea how this is going to turn out as the actor because they shoot so much footage. Justice League. Footage. Justice League. Remember that movie with all the superheroes like Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman? And it was kind of a flop. And then for some reason, behind the scenes, everybody wanted to see the Zack Snyder cut because he had left the project. He had a personal tragedy. And it was finished by somebody else. They went back and they recut it. They had so much additional film. It was a completely different movie, and it was so much better.
I fell asleep on it.
On Madam Web?
No,
Or
on
that one?
the Zack Snyder cut.
Well, you don't watch it in one
It's
sitting.
so
It's like it's
long.
4 hours
It is
long.
kind
So long.
of self-serving, boring. It's like I liked it better than the other one,
It
but
was
And
way
you watched
better.
the whole 4 hours, sir?
yeah, but I'm like
3 hours could
They do like a
could
slow-
be okay,
Who
but
was that
4?
Batman?
Affleck.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really good.
I
It
definitely didn't see
some
that
of these
one.
shots were so slow-mo. I was like, oh
They
my
should
God.
have done it
so
as a
slow.
series. They
Like-
should have just done it like as
Yeah, if they would have cut it up
episodes.
to like 4 episodes, I know it sounds dumb, but then you could stop it and make it a good point where they stop.
Well, coming up next, it's time for Open Phone Friday, 833-390-KRBE. What's on your mind? What do you want to tell us about? You want to brag about something?
This is your chance to get in.
The airwaves
Sooner.
are yours.
Because what happens is some people, maybe they get to their car at 6:37 and they hear it, and then they then they call in. But now you can get in before
Right now,
them.
833-390-KRBE. We'll talk to you next on The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Back to the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
It is Open Phone Friday.
Really open.
833-390-KRBE is our phone
I'm
number.
not worked hard, Rilla. Had like 2 or 3 people lined up and they hung up. So
Uh-oh. Yeah, we
Yeah,
understand.
listener
Life
lines
happens.
Had to get
we
along
have,
to
believe
their
me,
day.
we have lots of stuff we could talk about.
Absolutely.
We're just
But-
trying to give you guys a chance to
I
finally
know.
talk.
Yeah. We
If you
can have
still
ours
want
all day.
it, that number is 833-390-KRBE. That's 833-390-5723.
Say what's on my grocery list for today. You never know what I need for my groceries.
Yesterday, we were talking about successful women. And remember the
The
threat.
question for Roula's relationship roulette was, in 2025, if you are dating, is how high of a priority is it still to find a man who is the, quote, provider? Because that is a role that for generations, that's been the thing.
a
What
lot
does he
of
do for a
guys-
living? Oh, what's he do for a living? How's he going to support
Guys
your
will
family?
date girls. They don't care if they don't make anything.
Right.
I think we're just trained in our head to
Wired,
think
yeah.
that that women won't date us unless we're successful or have a good living or we make good money.
And a lot of women who did call in said,
Which I know is not true,
The majority
but-
that we got on the air didn't care about the money we're coming in,
more about
but they
the
care
ambition.
about the ambition and the drive.
Yeah, well, we had a hairdresser call in, and he had a comment on this.
My name is Alex, and I am a hairdresser, and I have a lot of successful women in my chair, and I tend to notice a pattern that it usually takes these women a longer time to meet a mate because I feel even though the other person might be honest and they might not tell them to their face or upfront that they're not okay with this or that they feel threatened, even though the dates might continue, eventually the person tends to move on because when they notice that these women don't need them. I have women in my chair that have been searching for a really long time now. That's it.
So I guess he's trying to say that the guys feel emasculated, like they need to feel to be needed. and they're threatened.
That's a you
because they
problem.
Well,
don't
that's a
need
you
them.
problem, dude.
It really is.
If you can't date a girl because she has a fancier car than you and you're not okay with it, then you're not going to work as in a relationship because you'll be jealous of her.
I'll put this
or
out there right
you'll
now.
always feel insecure next to her.
I'd
and
like to
that's a
see
you
that.
problem.
Yeah, or they make more money. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't
If anything,
care.
that's great.
And for the girl, as long as he is showing, like we said, ambition and drive, he's not just sitting back saying, "Okay, you got this, babe. I'll just go Xbox all day." You're not taking on a kid.
But
You
is
want
that
a
wrong
mate.
though? Like I see a lot of women, they'll drop their kids off at like certain places, and then they go in their gym outfits, and then they go play pickleball and tennis, and then they go have lunch with their friends, and they pick up the kids, and that's their life.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't a guy do that?
There's a lot of
That'd be awesome.
house stuff going on in between that. Because think about it, we're supposed to exercise every day, really, to keep ourselves healthy into our old age. You're supposed to exercise every day.
You go to all these restaurants, go to like Flower Mountain Place, whatever. There's so many women in there, and they're just all just
Yeah, you've gone to a
talking.
class or you've gone to do some sort of activity, and that's your time to do it when the kids are at school and all that. Courtney's up on
Let's
the
have guys
phones
do it.
at 833-390-KRBE. Good morning, Courtney. Hello.
Good morning.
Hello.
morning.
What's your comment?
So I just had a question. Me and my husband were just talking about this. I want to know why on Jeeps do they have the window button under the radio instead of on the door?
Why on Jeeps?
Because the
they have
doors
the
come
window
off.
button?
The doors of Jeeps come off when you want to ride naked.
Okay.
That's when you take all the doors
yeah,
off.
but the lock and unlock button is still on the door.
It is?
Well,
It
they-
is?
well, you're not going to be able to lock it.
Lock her,
with the
unlock her
doors
door.
Yeah,
off.
you
There's
can't
no
lock the
door
door
there.
if there's no door. Yeah, you're right. Hello. That's it, Courtney. That's it.
But also,
No
you
doors,
can't-
no locks.
You can't put down the window either if there's no window there, and then those
Maybe the
things in the middle
sunroof and
wouldn't
stuff
work
does it
either.
do there? I've never had a Jeep.
I had a Jeep. My husband drove a Jeep for a couple years, Courtney, and yes, I do remember that. Everything has to be in the middle because when you want to take the doors off to go off-road or have that beautiful beach day or whatever pretty day outside.
Maybe the wires
Take
are
the doors
made,
off.
The wires. Okay, I
Maybe
mean,
the
that
wires
makes
to
sense.
Because they might take the door off, but you can
But
do that with.
everything's remote now. We're
So
wireless
there's
society.
no wires for the lock and unlock?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's built into the door. They could maybe the system. Maybe they just can't figure that out.
We'll have to ask our buddies over there at Jeep, Healthman Jeep.
Yeah.
Hey, how does this work? What are the mechanics
Yeah, I
of
mean,
this?
like that's why the window maybe it's too.
How come the door
complicated?
locks are actually on the doors, but you can take them off of the Jeep and have them not even connected to the car?
Do people that drive Broncos and people that drive Jeeps, do they hate each other? Is it
there
like
a
Harley?
rivalry?
Like Harley guys don't like the guys that drive the
Yeah, Courtney, how do you feel about that?
sports bikes?
Because you do that the little peace sign, or like really the pony sign, I call it, not peace. Peace is one specific way you do your two fingers up, but it's more like the pony sign.
That's
like
the new ponies.
Yeah, or just like whatever your Mustangs, whatever. If you had a Mustang mascot, people do that when you drive by each other in Jeeps.
Oh, they
what's
get-
the
be annoying.
Bronco?
like
What's
a
the Bronco
Jeep
signal?
wave.
Yeah, it's like the Jeep wave. What's the Bronco signal? I
Yeah.
wonder. And when you see a Bronco, Courtney, is your husband like, no? I don't know. How does he feel about it?
You know what, Eric? You brought up a
Those
good
Broncos
point.
are cute, like those different colors, those California like blue.
There's got to be a rivalry, and it's funny how people react. A couple of weeks ago, when I said, "Hey, I'm getting my license for motorcycle," and I had a picture of a Harley on my stories. Oh my God, that started a war. Like, oh, Harley's this, Harley's that, and then you should ride this one instead. And it's like, my God, people, do you own stock in the company? I think it's great that you're excited about something you believe in, but you don't have to bash other people.
That's why I could not get a Tesla because I'm going to have everyone key in my car.
Oh, yeah.
Republicans, Democrats.
Nobody's going in right now.
I'm like, man, that's just a car that I want to be able to drive me places. Nope,
wait,
can't get that.
Rick
'cause
has
I
an
don't need
answer
that.
for us guys on the connections. Hi, Rick. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, we're good. So Courtney just asked us why the buttons
Window.
are in certain ways. Why is the window button actually on the door of the Jeep that is removable? How does it connect to the rest of the car to power lock?
There's a connector in when you go to disconnect the doors, you disconnect the connector that connects it to the vehicle. So it just unplugs from
It's
the
a click.
vehicle.
It's like a little click in.
Yeah, it just clicks into each door has its own click in. So you just unpower them from the doors, and then there's a setting in your radio that tells the vehicle you have doors off, so it doesn't chime or anything else that happens when you open.
Oh, yeah,
the
it started
door.
making that noise when the door's open.
I am the smartest man.
Yeah,
Rick, I'm going to assume you have a Jeep. Do you have a Jeep?
yeah, I got a
Okay.
Jeep Wrangler.
When you take your doors off, did you buy the contraption that you bolt into your garage to hold the doors on it, or where do you put the doors? You just lean them against the wall?
No, I have the jack stand removal, the one that lifts it up. It's kind of like a jack. You just pull down on it, and it lifts the top off your Jeep. So, and then
Oh,
it
okay, I
just
see.
stores on top of that.
Do you hate? Do you look down on people that drive Broncos, or do you like put your nose up?
rivalry again?
Yeah.
Nah, we're all good.
Is it the Coke and
Everyone's all
Pepsi
good.
rivalry? Bronco Jeeps.
We love them all. We love them all.
Well, that's good.
Do you give them a signal with one finger when you see Broncos?
Hell no.
Not Texas. Get shot.
The reason I asked that, listen, the reason, guys, I asked Rick that question is because people that don't know this until you have one, especially if you are a parent of a teenager and you think getting them a Jeep is a good idea, you could bankrupt yourself in the accessories they make for the Jeep. Oh, you want to take the doors off? Okay, but where are the doors going to go when you take them off?
Yeah.
Here, we're going to sell you this $500 thing to hold the doors.
That's expensive.
Oh, you want to get the top off your Jeep? You need this mechanical contraption like Rick just talked about. How much does that cost, Rick? Like $1,200? Put that thing in your garage.
Hey, Rick, do you have nice looking legs? Because I could never. I have chicken legs, so I can't drive a Jeep. I don't want people looking over and just going, "Hey, look at that guy with those chicken legs driving that Jeep."
Hey, Kevin, make sure you get the audio of him asking.
I got what they call leg socks. So, I got tattoos and stuff on my legs.
That looks cool. That looks cool.
And Rick, here's my thing. I'd be too scared to drive the Jeep with no doors, no windows, nothing, at like a red light in a Houston major intersection. There are way too many people who are coming up to you for money.
Oh, yeah.
Way too many people who are, I got some fake vest on that looks like they work for the city, and they got some bucket saying, hey, and they're right up in your face.
Oh, yeah.
How do you handle that when you go to an intersection and there's panhandlers?
You got to have the music all the way up to like 110. Like all the way up.
You're ignoring them?
I can't hear you.
This is time for what's going down in H-Town on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
Guess what today is? It is National Donut Day.
Oh.
You know how they always have
We're getting donuts.
Come on, Shipley. You should hear this. We love you.
I'll tell you what. I'll spring for
I can't
some
eat
Shipley's.
I need
if you want it.
donuts.
I can't eat donuts. I
Oh,
want to,
Lord.
Did you know?
Mom's donuts.
Oh, the mom's like, y'all better
Donut
stop
Day.
with that. I need some free breakfast. That's what the
is,
mom's saying.
It is connected to the Salvation Army. Now, here's how that is the case. Back in World War I, women were vocalized.
That was out there. I had to dump that.
Okay. So
Did it actually dump, though, this time?
They had
Last time you did.
I dumped out
huts.
10 seconds of what you said.
All right,
because
so
So
take
go
it back.
backwards. It's National
Okay.
Donut Day.
In World
Ahmad
War
wants
I.
free donuts.
Women were volunteering with the Salvation Army. They traveled to France. They had makeshift huts, and they provided the soldiers with supplies, including donuts, freshly fried donuts. So in 1938, the first National Donut Day took place in your hometown there in Chicago.
Nice.
Yeah,
World's
The
Fair.
more you know.
they called them the Donut Lassies.
What?
Donut lassies.
Hey, Lassie.
Remember
Give me some of them
that?
donuts.
Like 90 years
When we
ago.
were at the Palm, they had those Italian donuts.
The Zeppelis.
Now,
They're
what's
so
the
delicious.
difference?
It's just
It's just like a donut hole, but it's like
This is a round ball of dough that's been fried.
Yeah, cinnamon.
But why
Somebody
is
finally
there's
had
no
that
nut
great
in the
idea.
donut? There's no nut. So
I don't know why they call it
donut.
donut.
Like not donut, because there's not a knot either. There's a hole. Why don't they call it a dough hole?
I guess I could put, yeah.
They should call them dough holes.
Hey, you dough hole.
Yeah, I don't want to walk in there. Hey, I want some dough hole.
That's
Yes,
what they
but
called me in college.
Yeah, dough hole.
Coming up next, Mr. K's got a prank call.
Hey, dough hole, go ahead. What you got, buddy
What's
boy?
up, dough hole?
Hey, Dole. You know what? We have someone setting this up. His name is Spoon. Spoon. So you already know this dude is fun.
I'm glad you said fun. I thought you were going to say something else.
Okay, so
Yeah, hit the dump button again.
His buddy and neighbor has an RV that he just bought and has been parking it in the driveway. Of course, you're not allowed to do that in a fancy neighborhood. So we're gonna come on down there.
Do we get an answer why
Trashy
it's called
trailer.
Spoon? Do we know his?
Did you ask him why
actually,
his
I
nickname is
Did you
Spoon?
text him during the break?
Yeah.
Get the
How'd you
origin
get that
story?
Nickname.
And then we'll do a segment where people with funny nicknames come in here, like we got Spoon, my son's sandwiches.
Yeah.
Everybody who's got utensil nicknames, fork,
What did we call it?
dough hole.
Dough hole.
Okay, prank calls next on
Dough-y.
KRBE.